Listen. I just want to make a disclaimer right quick before we get into it. If you are watching this, you know who you are. It's no beef, okay? It's no beef. I forgave you. You know, you cool. We cool. It's no beef. I just want you to know it's no beef. And I hope you don't feel the kind of way, because I promise you it's no beef, it's no smoke. You cool for real. Man's 100 grand. Dap me up. How do you dap somebody? Dap me up. I feel like, didn't we have a handshake? I don't even remember, but just dap me up, homie. Hug. Alright. I just wanted to put that on there. It's no beef. Big Pooh is no beef. It's like, let me stop. It's no beef though, but I'm for real. No beef, like me cool. Hi. We finally talking about this. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, what's up? If you're not new to my channel, what's up? User Maddie, what's up? User Maddie, what's up? And we is back here with another mother freaking video. And in today's video, we're talking about a long overdue conversation, kind of. And I'm kind of letting y'all into my life a little bit, so yeah, let's get into the video. So this, should I do glasses or no glasses? Get glasses or no glasses? No glasses. I don't know. We just gonna do no glasses for now. But yeah, I don't even really know where to go with this, how to go about this, because I just it's just been a long time. So basically, I kind of told this story already on my channel, but like I can kind of really get into detail. I can really get into detail about this for real. So I just feel like I can tell this story without like getting emotional or crying. So yeah. So basically, I'm gonna just get into the story and then get into everything else. I'm gonna try to not make this be a long story time. But all right, we're gonna call the person. What we gonna call the man? We gonna call him Axe. We gonna call him Axe, okay? Alright, so I was working at this place. We gonna call it a hat place. I was working at this hat place, and basically at this hat place, you know, people came in to try different kind of hats, and that's just where I worked. And I worked at the front desk at this hat place. So one day I was minding my business, doing my due, and this fine like wine type of man would walk in the door, was tall, very handsome, curly hair, and I had to check him in. Now back in this time, I was pretty like decent in my walk. I was decent.
It might be decent. It might be decent. It might be decent.
Yeah, I'm hosting.
It might be
I got
decent.
you. I got. It might be decent. It might be decent.
Bro, why does the character's face look so small?
If you watch Belize and them some bros, then you know. But I was pretty decent. I was pretty decent in my walk. But you know, I still, like, when it came to the lust in the sex area, was not fully together and delivered, and you know, yeah. So he came in And I just remember, I'm just like, who is this? Like, and sometimes we used to get fine people that came in there, but like, he was cute. He was cute, y'all. So I just remember, like, I was just looking him dead in his eyes, just like in his mid, like, hello, yeah. So you gotta fill out this paper, and then you could fill it out in the bag, and then just like come back up here when you're done filling out this paper. I'm just looking him up and down, looking him in his eyes, like, looking him in his eyes. And back then, low key, like, this is not good, because this is really not good. But I used to, before Christ, I was definitely like a seducer in a way. That's not good, because that's giving Jezebel. We don't do that. That's like witchcraft. But I'm just telling y'all what I used to do. This is what I used to do. So I'm just looking him in his eyes, child. And I remember he was just so cute to me. I remember the name immediately. And this kind of might be stalker-ish type beat, but like, when I saw that, I needed that. I wanted that and I needed that. But I didn't want to be weird, and I didn't, like, I didn't know how that would go. So I didn't want to like try to, one, I wasn't going to try to come at him, because you had my other coworkers and we was all cool, but they be doing too much, and I just don't like people in my business like that. Like, so I wasn't trying to do that. But then also, I'm working at the front desk, so I got like his phone number and stuff like that, address, all that. I didn't look at that. Now that's doing too much, but I did, like, I took that number down and I wrote it down, and I remembered his name, because I'm like, now remember, I'm saying this is a hat place, but it's not a hat place, but I'm just saying it's a hat place, so you gotta bear with me. But basically, I knew he had to come back to get his hat, you know, fitted for his size after he ordered it. So I'm just like, when he come back, because he wanted to try out this new brand of hats, I'm like, hopefully when he come back, I'll be able to teach him how to properly put the hat on, so that maybe I can get a little one-on-one time with him and try to shoot my shot. But yeah, he ended up coming back up, and I'm just like, he's just so cute, like. But anyway, he ended up woo. And then one of my work home girls at the time, she told me, she was like, yeah, he gotta come back. And I'm just like, I hope I'm here when he come back, so that I could teach him how to properly put the hat on. So then why, when he ends up coming back, I wasn't there. And it was crazy, because I had a dream that happened. No, I had a dream that I actually was showing him, but like, he ended up coming back when I wasn't on shift for that day. And I remember one time he had called up, and I seen his name, and he was calling. Like I said, because I remember his name, I had wrote it down in my phone, because this was my joint. I was just like in the back of my head, because I knew I was probably going to end up like leaving that job soon. So I was like, when I leave, I'm just going to text him. So I'm like, I'm not going to do it while I'm at work, just in case it don't work out how I think in my mind, and he thinks I'm a weirdo, and then he try to call up there, and then like I get fired or something. I wasn't that spontaneous and risque. I just had a plan in my head, and that was my plan. I was just gonna wait. I didn't care if it would have been like, nah, a year later is OD, but if a couple months went by, I wouldn't have minded. But anyway, so I remember one time he had called up, and I seen his name, and it was like X, and I'm just like, and I just got to it, and I heard it up, and I picked up the phone, because I didn't want nobody else to get that phone, because like in the back of my mind, I'm just like, you should just like ask him, do he got a girlfriend right now? But then I'm like, I don't know if these calls is recorded, and then like I don't want nobody to low-key be listening to me, so I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. But he was just checking in to see if his hat was ready. It wasn't, was it ready? I think it was ready. And I had told him, I'm like, yeah, you know, your hat is ready, it's here, blah 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 blah. Got off the phone. Days go by, I'm doing my shift how I do, and I see this fine man. I see him, and he's walking to the door. When I tell y'all, I got so scared, I literally jumped down and hid under the desk. So that I hid under the desk so that he didn't see me. So my other work home girl that was like working at the front desk with me, she had like went to get the glasses for him, because I was literally so scared that I hit, like I was really crushing bad. Like it was giving little girl, like But yeah, I hid and I waited until he left. Anyway, so time goes by and I end up leaving this job, and one of my work home girls, she was like, she followed Jesus too. And I was telling her, I'm like, I'm going to hit this man up, like. And I remember one night I was texting her. The night I was texting her, I was like, I think I'm gonna text him. And she was like, who asked? I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna text him, because I was just like, I kept telling them too, because it was only her and my other work home girl at that time. It was like them two, like they knew that I thought he was cute, and I'm just like, I'm trying to.
I need that.
Whoa.
I want that.
Yeah.
I have that. I gotta have that.
So I had told her, and I can't remember. Let me see, because I got my old phone. So let me see if I got the messages when I was telling her. Let me see. I'm not, that was so long ago, I'm not about to do it. But I just remember I told her about to text him. So then y'all, now let me get my messages up with him and I. It was so long ago, jab. Where is it? Okay. Give me a second, because this is going to be a lot of scrolling. Child, that search thing come in handy, find stuff quick. So I had texted him, y'all. Mind you, when I'm texting him, it's late, because I think it might have been, I don't know what day this was, but it was late. And like, it was 10, but it was like, why you hitting somebody up at 10? Because if a man hit me up at 10, like, I'm gonna be thinking like, what type of time is you on? But like, I just wasn't peeping the time, because like I said, it wasn't like I had to go to sleep to get ready for work the next day, because I was still in the process, because I had already had a new job, but I was still in the process of that. So I had to wait for them to like send me the stuff. So that's probably why I was up late, or it was a weekend, one of the two. But I had texted him, y'all, and I was like, hey, just like, why am I acting like this? Like, stop. Now he's still getting you all giddy. Like, well, why I'm saying you, me, well, he don't, but like, I was too pressed right there in that video. Like, girl, calm down. Like, that's in the past. That's what I said. But I was like, hey, this gonna seem so weird, but I remember you from one of my old jobs, and I just thought you were cute. And then he was like, he said the laughing emoji, because I had said the laughing emoji, and he was like, which job did you work at? And I'm like, these hats is the best. I was one of the girls who used to sit at the front desk, and I put one of my favorite emojis, which is the black moon emoji and the laughing emoji. And he was like, I'm sorry, I never worked there, but I might have been one of your customers though. Or are you saying you remember me as a customer? And I'm like, yes, as a customer, LOL. Now, right, mind you, like I said, I'm walking with the Lord. A lot of the things that I used to do, I didn't do. One of the things, I stopped cussing, right? So he said, oh, sugar honey iced tea with a laughing emoji. And it raised a little, just like, wee woo, wee woo. But then I'm just like, maybe he's new in his walk, because I didn't know any of that. But it's just like, it raised a flag, but not really, because, you know, when I first started my walk, I was still cursing too. So that's just why I was just like, I ain't really pay that no mind. You know what I'm saying? I just... And he was like, can you send me a picture, because I've been there a couple of times with the dead face emoji. And he was like, what's your name, by the way? I sent him a picture. And you know, fine gal. Yeah, fine gal. I was glad I had those in the tuxky. And I sent that. And I was like, I replied after I sent the picture, and I was like, yeah, I ducked a couple times, left my freaking butt off, and I told him my name. And he was like, what, you kept my number in a tuck? Do you know my name too? And I was like, yeah. I said I was gonna text you when I left that job, and I do. And he was like, asking me how long ago I left and all that. And I let him know what day was my last day. He was like, well, probably got fired. He was like, probably got fired from stalking the customers. And he was like, joking, but where you from? Blah, 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 blah. And then we was just texting and all that from there. Right, so y'all, then not even like a couple days later, he asked to take me out. But before he said it, he asked me what was I doing the next night. And literally, y'all, and then if a week didn't go by, so when he asked me that, I'm like,
you got me over here scared like
we got him. It's like, nah. But I was just hyped because I was just like, in my older years, you know, gave my life to Jesus. I never been asked out on a date. Like, even before, I never really been asked out on a real date. Like, if we're being real. And then it was just like, okay. It only like 1 or 2 days of us texting went by. So like,
all I hear is that girl when I'm on the scene.
I feel like that girl. I feel like that's Pris. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, but then in the back of my head, I'm like, please don't ask me to come over your house. Please out. You know that the joint from Alpha when she'll be like, please don't say my name, please don't say my name, please don't say my name.
Woman lover. So let me raise a toast to the girl I love most in the whole world. Please don't say my name. Please don't say my name. Darla.
In my head, I'm like, please don't ask me to go over your house tomorrow. Please don't ask me to go over your house tomorrow. That's what I'm seeing in my head. But then he was like, no, out to eat. And I'm just like, he's serious. Like, he's a grown man. Like, he's for real. Like, okay, he wanna see me. Only 2 days after people text, I'm like, oh, he must really like the kid. Watching this back sign still and delivered. The delusion was talking early. Like, what do you mean he must really like you, girl? Y'all don't even know each other. I think what I meant was like, or what I was feeling like, oh, he must really want to get to know me. Like, it's crazy. But it was definitely given. It's more than a car. It's more than I like more than that. I mean, I can make you mine. And I ain't giving up. So this, ooh, I'm really getting deep. Like, so yeah, he had we set up the date. He let me know he worked late, so he, you know, it will be later for us going out. And he asked me, was that okay? And I'm like, yeah, you know, I get it, I understand, because like, I get it, like, you work late. He told me what he was doing. I'm just like, I get it, like, it's cool. So I'm trying to show my heart. But anyway, so we had went on a date, you know, it was cool. We're chatting it up right now. I'm just myself. So when we was texting, I think I mentioned like Jesus, and like when we was texting, because I'm just like, that's just me. But I still wasn't quite sure where he was on the spectrum of things. So we chopping it up, and we eating our food, and we talking and all of that. And I don't know how we got on the topic of like religion and Jesus and God. But I was like, I told him like, yeah, I believe in Jesus. I'm a Christian, and I'm just hoping in the back of my head, like, okay, I'm about to find out. He said something along the lines like, yeah, I don't believe in God or something like that. And I know my eyes got wide. I'm pretty sure my eyes was like, and in my head, I'm just like, no. And I'm just like, why? I was so just like, this cannot be happening. Like, no, like, why? Like, you're too cute for it. You wasn't even giving off no red flags or nothing. Like, you're too cute to not believe in Jesus. That's just what I was thinking in my head. And obviously, looks have nothing to do with knowing the Lord. But, you know, I was just like, you just fine. Like, what do you mean you don't know the Lord? Like, stop playing. Now, hindsight, I definitely, you know, I should have just asked. Like, now I'm the type of person I just flat out ask a man. But like, you know, back then it just didn't come up. Like, I would be organic, be like, oh yeah, praying or Bible study, but we never like got deep into that topic. Now, we talked about the Lord deeper in our, I'm not gonna say relationship because we wasn't like boyfriend and girlfriend, but in our bonding time, we've talked about Jesus and stuff like that, and talk about different things in life. But you'll see. Just keep watching. Now, like, I know I'm gonna get into that, but now I know that like men are just not their looks, just like I'm not just my looks, but that I'm just being real and telling yo what my thought process was. But I'm just thinking like, no, like, you so cute. I'm just thinking I found my one ski, like this can be something, and you just hit me with a red turtle shell.
Don't throw it, Jay. You don't got to. Drifting. She wasn't drifting. Any of those things. Did you get hold this? Did you get hold this? Fucking bats.
Knock me off my feet, flip me upside down.
Riddle back up, top of the ladder. Riddle's got Rollins. RKO! Are you kidding me?
Ring me around.
At least I'm back here.
And I just knew my eyes got wide because I just cannot help my facial expression. Sometimes it just caught me off guard because I was just hoping like deep down in my heart. It was just like that was the worst case scenario that he could see. It was the worst thing that he could see. I wanted him to so bad. I was just hoping like maybe he's just new. Maybe he's new. And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, for real, woo, woo, woo. And we were just talking, and he was just telling me why. But he was letting me know, he was like, his grandmom is a Christian, his mom's a Christian, they both believe in Jesus, blah 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 blah. And then we were just getting into just like that topic or whatever. I don't remember all that we was talking about. So then this is where at this moment I just did not make right decisions, and it was just, I was completely in my flesh because I was one of them people that felt like the Bible tells us to flee from temptation. It don't say stay and try to box it. It literally says run away, like run for your life or run for the hills, like run from it. This the only thing that you gonna run from. Don't run from nothing else. But if you gonna run from something, run from temptation. What does it say? Let me pull it up. Let me be accurate. Let me be accurato. I don't even know if that's Spanish. Hold up. I know there's a translation that says something like resist the devil or flee from the. Hold up, but I gotta find it. It's in 2 Timothy, and it says run from youthful lust. But then also in 1 Corinthians it says resist the devil and he will flee from you, right? But most of our problems as people is we be in the area of the temptation and then try to resist it there. And it's like when it says resist temptation, don't even put yourself in a place to be tempted. Like you want to try your best to not put yourself in a place where you are going to be tempted, and I didn't do that. So after the date, because we was talking, and I'm like a gamer girl, like I talk my stuff, like that's just me. I'm competitive. But yeah, so I'm competitive and stuff, so I'm just talking. We start talking about like video games, and he was just like, you not better than me at this. I think we were talking about Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, and something else, and he just like, you not better at me. You know how boys be like, we in new times, girls be gaming for real, and they don't just be all that talk. Like I literally been playing video games since a child, okay? Literally since a child. all of the games that you can think of. I used to play them with my dad, my brother, my sister, and my cousins. Like, yeah. But anyway, we talking and talking. He was like, we can go back to my, we can go back to my house and we can try. And I paused because I'm like, I know I should not do this. It's late now because we went to dinner late. It's late. I shouldn't do this. I really should go home. That is the Christ-like thing to do. But in my head, I'm just like,
nah, it's just gonna be innocent little game. Like, I'm not on that. Like, I'm about to let him know what's tea, because I really do this for real.
hear me, hear me. I know that's a typical man move. But this is my flesh thinking I can box the temptation. When the Bible says flee, what I should have did was just like, nah, just, take me back home. But I was just like, nah, it ain't gonna be nothing. Which it wasn't nothing really that night. But it's just like you just planted the seed and you started something that you ain't even know. You know when they say don't start nothing, won't be nothing? Well, I started something and there was something. Even if it didn't happen right there. Later down the line. That is going through my head. I'm just like,
Then what's up? Like, what's up with it? Let's go.
just, oh, girl, it was so stupid, girl. That just was so stupid. We went, played little games. Now, mind you, spiritually, certain things like, I feel like my spirit was sensitive to certain things back then still. So like we was talking about like shows and stuff like The Walking Dead. That's something that I stopped watching. I feel like if I was to rewatch that now, like it wouldn't bother me. But I don't feel like I would want to watch it just because I don't know what doors it could open. But like I knew certain things would like open up doors, and I just felt like at that time doors enough was already open, so I didn't need nothing else coming in. But like it was this game they had, but it was kind of like a scary game, and we was playing it. It was like I didn't really want to play it because I'm just like I don't feel like I should, but I'm just like, let me just try a little bit. But I really wasn't trying to play it. It was just like, you can play it and I watch, but this I don't really want to play. So I played it a little bit, but it just wasn't my twist. And then we went to like Grand Theft Auto and all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, y'all, we didn't do anything that night. I know that's what I was about to say. But no. But what had happened was I ended up staying the night there. I ended up staying the night. Mind you, didn't have no type of makeup wipes or nothing. But I ended up staying the night, but we didn't do nothing, okay? We just cuddled, all that, blah, blah, blah. But then that turned into, so no. Boom. Next day drops me off home in the morning. Yeah. It's probably that same day. But you know what's crazy? I'm missing a part. Wait, pause on a play. Let's rewind it back. Before that, right, when we was talking about the date when he was coming to pick me up, I was getting nervous because, y'all, I forgot what he looked like. All I remember is that he was cute, but I was like, I couldn't remember what he looked like for nothing. Like, I just could not remember what he looked like. And mind you, I had his name, so I was trying to find him on everything. I couldn't find that man on nothing. And I just could not remember what he looked like for real. And I'm just like, what if he wasn't as cute as I thought and I get in this car and he's ugly or something? So that's why part of me was nervous. But when I just could not, like, when I tell you, I couldn't think at all. And I feel like now thinking back, that may have been a sign or been like something spiritual. That was probably a sign, because when I tell you, I couldn't, like, nothing. All I remember is light skin. That's it. I was trying to picture him with glasses. I just could not remember him for nothing. So just remember that, because I do think that was a sign. But I was ignoring all the signs and the red flags that God could have possibly been throwing it at my way, I was dodging them like like Lil Kim. I was giving
To make you feel, dump them in the club, have you out and out when you bump this, drugs to your eardrum, the war uncovered.
I thought I was the people in the Matrix doing the tricks. Like, I'm dodging every red flag possible. Dodging it, turning away from it like this. But anyway, I'm going back forward. So yeah, he dropped me off. I'm home. We'll be texting throughout the day. It's getting late. I remember I had texted him. I'm just like, I missed you, because I did. I love the cuddle. I just, you know. He called me, mind you. I texted him that, but I'm going to bed. I just remember hearing my phone, because I'm pretty a light sleeper for the most part. Sometimes I'm not, but my phone was ringing. And it was him, and I picked it up, and I'm like,
hello?
And he was like,
you want me to come get you?
and I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I do, because I wasn't expecting him to say that. Like, I didn't text him for that, but he said it. So I'm not going to pass up on seeing this man.
Brittany, well, you were thinking it. Yeah, well, you said it.
So yeah, he had picked me up, went back over, ain't do nothing, you know, wasn't on that type of time. We just cuddled, I'm pretty sure, because that's mostly what it was, cuddling. So time went on, going over there. Child, I made that man a heart cake and everything. Like, I didn't want to admit it because I didn't want to fall too fast, but I had already fell and hit the ground, smacked the ground, matter of fact.
So until then.
Well, I hope he's wearing a cup.
But I just wasn't trying to admit it because it was such a short amount of time. But I think what it was like the intimacy of like the physical touch, the cuddling. That's like a very intimate thing. Like, cuddling is intimate. You don't gotta be doing nothing, but it's like intimate, and I think that's what it was. Caught feelings expeditiously fast. I catch feelings fast anyway. But anyway, I wasn't gonna admit him mad, but I had bought. First of all, let me tell you what I was going to get him, because I don't know why, like, one of my love languages is acts of service, really, and gifts and physical touch, kind of. That's a little iffy, not really, but definitely acts of service and gift giving. I don't really have to receive the gifts per se, but I do love giving gifts, quality time for sure, and like acts of service, just doing things, you know. I had what I was going to get him. I don't know why, but I saw he wore this chain, so I'm just paying attention to detail, because that's what you do when you love somebody. This is the first time I'm admitting that. But yeah, I love that man. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I was going to get him this gold chain, like an expensive, like a couple bands chain. Because I was like, let me elevate what you got on. I don't know what you got on. It looks nice, but let me elevate you. Yeah, I was going to get him that. Yo, I really was. But I was like, that might be doing too much. That might scare him away. And then it was like, girl, don't be delusional. You don't really know him like that. Like, we don't do that. So I didn't. What I ended up doing was, he told me his favorite food was pizza. I made him a heart-shaped cake with the dough. Made him a heart-shaped cake. I had got a custom shirt and a hat with his initial on it, and it said legendary, because I was just like, you're really a legendary person. Like, I don't know if nobody never told you that, but I'm telling you. And I had wrote him a card, but because, you know, I wrote him a card. Oh, I got him a card and wrote in the card, and I got his favorite drink. Next time I saw him, gave it to him, blah blah blah. But yeah, anyway, time goes on. One time it was just like, girl, why? We ended up,
you laid your life on the cross just to save me.